a long time ago, for quite a long time, and the end is where the beginning is. يعني معناتها, how do you understand that? There is no end and there is no beginning. So it's a continuous thing. مشان هيك نحن يمكن unlike other faiths بالعالم, we don't believe إنه مات الواحد خلص, that's it, he's gone or she's gone. No. So life continues لأنه نحن we believe in reincarnation. And if we do believe in reincarnation, then it makes it much easier to accept that fact. Death does not exist. It's just the body that has passed, and the soul راحت على another body, a new body, and it's a renovation. It's a تجديد.
It's a rebirth.
It's a rebirth. Okay, so that's basically how we look at it. That's basically it. Whether we remember our past lives or not, sometimes we believe in, okay, if it happens, that's fine. If it's not, it doesn't. It's going to be recorded somewhere, sometime, and be used, probably. So, مشان هيك we don't I don't stop there. I don't let that bother me and look for answers. مين كنت أنا؟ مين, yeah, it would be nice to know, but don't let it stop you from continuing your journey. And life is a journey. Like Dr. Sami, he has a book, رحلة بلا طريق. شو نسميها بالإنجليش?
Journey without a...
With no road.
Yeah. He didn't translate it.
No, he didn't translate it. But anyway, رحلة بلا طريق, that's his book, the name. And he talks about his, it's like an autobiography. Okay. Life is only a journey. It's a journey. You go through it, you pass it, then next generation بتروحي على journey غيرها. يمكن تكون فيها connection, probably فيها connection at times, but not necessarily. Okay. So that's as far as the concept of life and death. Personally, من أنا وصغير, even though I was born overseas, I never feared death. كنت أنا وصغير, and if that is okay to mention, before there were any funeral homes, كانوا يعملوا دائما الفيونرال بالبيت. Okay? وأنا was a curious boy. So امرق من حد شي بيت يكون في عزي, so امرق وفوت وشوف الميت. It never scared me, it never bothered me seeing a dead body. Okay? ولما صرت أنا أصلي, لما كنت معتمد, and I used to صلي على الميت, I would actually be like feeling like comfortable with the fact that, okay, this is a body that's gone. Let's hope and wish that you go to a good home. نحن بنقول إنه إذا بيروح على بيت توحيد, يكون في توحيد, بيكون كمان even better. إنه يكونوا parents يكونوا بيعرفوا شو هو التوحيد. يعني to make it easy on the next life or the next step in your life. Some people don't accept that concept. They don't. Some people dwell over death. They keep mourning someone for years and years and years sometimes. And okay, نذكر لها الإنسان, it's fine. If I remember my late dad, I remember him for all the things that he gave me. Same thing my mother, my late mother. نفس الشيء أي حدا إجا بحياتي, I would remember them بهالاشياء اللي عطوني إياها. And that's enough, actually, for me. I'm talking about the personal experience. That's enough for me to know, what I learned from them. If I can pass it along to my kids and others, then I would be more than happy. More than happy. So basically, that's my concept of life and death.
Almost the same. I mean, death is when somebody on a spiritual level, when they change, their awareness changes. So what they believed before and what they believed in, their
next generation.
Next step in awareness, even in the same life, it would be like a new birth. That's how I look at it. So the physical death is like he was saying, is a continuation of it's like when the soul does not find that medium that it was living in, that it expresses it. It goes to a new experience, so that it continues its journey. In reincarnation, I believe in reincarnation, but for a person to speak about their life, I have a different idea about it's not. Maybe it's telepathy. Maybe it's tapping into the frequency of someone. Because I have two stories that changed my mind. One was a girl who was born to my husband's family, and she used to say when she was little, she spoke about her name and how she was in a car accident and how she died and where she's from. And when they didn't live in Lebanon, when they came to Lebanon, they went to visit her house of previous life, and they showed her the parents, the family from the previous life. They showed her the picture. She said, "No, that's not me." But she said everything that's correct about the incident and everything. And then they had a picture of the driver of the car, which was her friend, and she said, "That's me." So she's saying that she's the passenger while she was the driver. So maybe she was worried about the passenger because she was driving, and she's like, I don't know how to explain it. That's a story. Another story, we had some friends come in the U.S. They said that their son died, and they were told that someone in another village, he's saying that he is their son. They went to talk to him, and he spoke a lot of correct things about their son, but that boy died after their son died. So he couldn't have been, was he, or died before their son or something like that, before, I think. So it was like a date that did not match. It did not make sense that he would be the person. He probably was his friends at school and he remembered him, or he tapped into his energy or something like that. And so I don't know, those two stories changed my mind about how we used to hear, oh, this is the person and he was living there and that's it. And because my aunt, one of my aunts, she spoke very, very like detailed things, more than like, oh, I died in an accident and my name was this and I was from. No, she was like 4 years old, and she saw a man walking next to her house, and she was telling her mom, "This is my son, this is my son," and that man heard, and he said, her mom was like shushing her, and then this man came and he said, "Why are you saying I'm your son?" And they were famous people in the area. So he thought, okay, a lot of information about us people know. So he said, tell me one thing that nobody knows. And she said, when you were little, one of your arms did not grow as the other one. And we didn't tell anybody. She said she was his mom, and they used to cover it. And this is when he carried. And this is how I grew up. I thought, oh my gosh, a person. But then later on, I heard the other stories, and now I'm certain that there's reincarnation. I love the way Ibrahim Karim was talking about how he had described it as imagine you're in a lake and you're standing on a leaf, a big leaf. You're standing there and you're thinking, oh, this leaf is pretty, and you're not seeing that you're in the lake. You're only imagining your life and he says one day the water seeps in the leaf and the leaf goes down in the water and you find yourself in the lake, but then you were in the lake altogether all the time without knowing. So kind of I like that analogy.
And let me just probably clarify something also. Despite the fact, and I believe in reincarnation strongly, I don't have any doubts about that, period. So التقمص is a fact. بينما إذا حدا بيتذكر أو talks about his past or her past life, like she said, it might be very accurate, it might not. And it doesn't happen to everybody. We have a concept, and probably wrong. I don't know if it's a wrong concept. If someone dies in an accident or sick or
like
something,
a sudden death.
A sudden death, he or she speaks in the next life. But anyway, there's nothing documented Anna, and we should have that revelation, and what we need to believe in is reincarnation. That's it. Okay. And of course, our reincarnation, with all due respect to Hindus and other faiths, is just person to person. No insects, no animals, nothing. Okay? Again, with all due respect. And definitely, they have the concept, but probably I don't know, if it's lacking something, I don't know. So it makes more sense to say someone is a person, and whether it was a she and was born as a she, I believe strongly in it continues. Not like people say sometimes nowadays, no, why can't a she be a he in the next generation? So I think there is a wisdom من العقل من Allah, and to leave it at that point, and as again you're always born as a woman, then it's always the connections that you can make, your soul makes, probably are more in tuned, if I may say that. So we talk about man and woman, not in the biological sense. Mufid and Mustafid, I think you've heard that. Okay? And the Mufid can be a man, and the Mustafid can be a man, or vice versa. Doesn't matter. So بهالconcept هذا في ناس get confused. عرفتي يعني? You can elaborate on that.
So the soul is genderless, does not have gender. And he's talking about the Mufid and Mustafid, meaning that it could, this on a spiritual level, you could be biologically a woman, but you're a man in the sense of giving knowledge. So it's the idea of Mustafid and Mufid is the relationship between them. One is a giver and one is a receiver, and this interaction between them give birth on a biological level, it gives a baby. In a spiritual level, it gives knowledge. So that's like the fruit of that interaction. So I don't know if it spells it really directly that a man is born, like in our books. Some people, they say, yeah, it's explained that a man is born a man, a woman is born a woman, but it's like an interpretation. It doesn't spell it out like that. So what I believe is the soul is going to take on the body that it expresses its journey, where it's going to learn and continue. We choose on a soul level where we want to be. So saying that, I don't know, but because it doesn't have gender. So if you don't have something, you don't know. I mean, how do you choose something that you don't connect to, or something like that? That's how I think about it. I could be wrong, because I don't want to be saying things outside of the norm, but this is how I believe. It's just you need to find, as a soul, need to find the medium that will express your wherever you are at your level. So and who knows? Nobody knows. If someone tells you that I know everything, they don't know anything. It's just Heike.
Let me add something as far as personal experience of taqammus. My late father, he spoke about his previous life. And when he was a little kid, he used to mention a name all the time. Labibi, Labibi. They would bring him Labibi in the family, and he would say, no, that's not Labibi that I'm looking for. My sister Labibi. So finally, his mom, my grandmother, was, they used to go to funerals, ladies, and take the kids with them. So she was carrying him, and immediately he stops his mom, and he says, Mom, stop. So that lady he was looking for had a veil. It was like a black. So قال لها خليني لعندها هيدي لبيبي. رفع لها هاي الveil. قال لها هاي لبيبي. This is my sister Labibi. So he did take them back to his house and showed them what he was a carpenter in his previous life, and he described how he passed and whatnot. Now, there is a period of time that did not match. He was born at a certain date in this family, but he, ما في matching came. So my dad used to think, probably, when I passed العائلة الثاني, I went to a family, lived probably a few, okay, which makes sense, كمان. I know it happens many times, okay. So that's how he explained.
But didn't he show them where he buried some?
He had
some money.
Yeah, gold and whatnot and things.
Yeah. So there could be a purpose. Yeah. Why?
So he revealed so many things that the family didn't know of. He was the one, in the past there were no banks, there were, so he had buried, that gold somewhere, and had other things that were not revealed when he was in the previous life. And then he showed them all that, so it made sense to everybody. At a very early age, for some reason, I learned it from my parents in a very casual way, informal way, and it always made sense to me. I always accepted the faith, the way it was passed on to me. Uh, Even though I have been academic, I am an academic person, but I usually didn't question things. There's a difference between both. Okay, I never questioned. So if I was told and I was convinced with the idea, then that's it. Nobody can change my name. Not because I'm stubborn, just okay, I'm accepting it. That's it. And I wouldn't discuss it further. No, if somebody had questions, it's okay. So yeah, when we first married, there were times that I used to think she would ask questions, and I would say to her, "Why do you have those doubts?" Okay, I would always say, she would say, "No, it's not doubts. I just like to ask questions." Okay, and that was the difference between both. So she learned it in a different way. I learned it in another way. So in the end, we meet. Hopefully. Okay, not as a husband and wife. Talking about the faith, and who knows next generation where each one would be. We don't. Yeah, we do actually, and this is something probably that she likes to talk about. That we choose our future parents. Okay. So, and the reason when you are born into a family, uh, you are you accept the family and the family accepts you. It's probably true that the concept that you choose, where you want to
You
be,
choose and they choose. I think that
and they
choosing
choose
is
the
gonna
parents
be
also. Yeah, right, exactly.
you
Okay,
choose wanting.
and I think to me, it's always been something that, oh yeah, why not? Sure. It's not like nothing is random. Nothing is random. Okay, there's got to be. Well, by then, since we believe cause and effect, we make our decisions. Okay, whether you decide to become a philosopher or you become whatever in your life, that's your choice. Okay, and the consequences, you are the one that actually, I don't want to say pay the consequences, but you are responsible for the results, positive or negative results. You are responsible because you chose, and that's the beauty of Tawheed. Tawheed gives you that freedom, not the freedom that people talk about nowadays. Okay, it's a different kind of freedom where you have that choice, and God gives you, or Al gave you those tools to be able to. I think, and I hate to use the word discern, just like Leela. Okay, so you choose. Okay, you see the choices, and then hey, this is it. Okay, uh, at a biological level, probably you choose to have a partner in your life. This is it. This is him or this is her. Okay, you have a concept. You would like to be with that person. Okay, that's on a biological level, and that's okay too. No problem with that. Besides the idea of thinking of your next life or next part of your رحلة, uh, you actually create that. You actually attract it. I mean, she doesn't like to talk about negativity. Okay, you attract negativity, you get negativity. Okay, so think about positivity. I'm speaking for her now. We always have our discussion. So, anyways, I'll let her talk about that. So, anyways, you know that in marriage you have your ups and downs. Life is that way. Yeah, nothing is nice and dandy all the time because there are always going to be moments in life, and that's how you learn. That's exactly how you learn.
In every aspect of life.
Yeah, yeah. So there is something that happens between you and somebody else or in your life. Uh, Definitely, this is again something she likes to talk about. It's always خير. Always خير. لأنه we don't know what the يعني some like one time something happened to us we were invited to a wedding. You want to talk about Ragit's wedding? What happened to us?
I think we were being delayed. And we were kind of upset why we were delayed. We want to go home. We're finished and everything
After the wedding.
after the wedding. And then it turns out when we got here to the shuf, there was like a curve. And we were driving, and a car coming from behind the curve and did not see that it's a curve, and it went into the wall. And we were so close to it that had we left a little bit earlier, it would have
Like seconds earlier. Have
smashed into us because it was dark. He didn't see, we didn't see anything. So
And I was with the family. I mean, the kids
we
were
were,
there.
yeah,
she was there.
the car is full of
Yeah.
people. It was, yeah.
Nothing is right. Nothing.
يعني I see that if we were talking about the 3D system that we live in, it's a system that has cause and effect built in it. So حتى عنا بيقول العقل is the cause of all causes. So there is a cause, and there is an effect, and there is a system that is built already with rules and order and nizam. So it's kind of like, if we're talking about the system, it's like the school. In the school, the school has already built in rules and laws. You first you start with the kindergarten, and then first grade, and then you have to pass the school starts at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. You have to study in order to pass your tests. You have to pass your test to go into the next grade, right? So those are rules are built in already to the school, and it's your choice. Do you want to study?
Okay.
Do you want to pass? Do you want to go play? It's your choice. But but you did not make those rules. You already came into this system with its own rules. So that the soul comes into this body, and this body already as an intelligent entity. It does not require you to wake up in the morning and turn on your breathing and your blood circulating. It's just doing it for you. That's an intelligent system that the soul is using to learn. So, so that's why the cause we have control on, the effect we don't have control on, because there is so many different ways with our choice that it turns out you can fall off from the second floor. Somebody would either die or not die, or break a leg, or tear their skin, or I mean, you can sit here and say so many ways that it could end up. Okay, but it's their decision to fall. They wanna jump, but they don't have control of what the jump is gonna cause. It's gonna be a result in it. And this is when you get out of the 3D system, and you transcend those polarities. Okay, either this or this or that or that. Okay, and then you observe yourself choosing. This is when you have intuition of what could happen. If I put this here, up here on the edge of the table, I need to also think, okay, I could drop it if I moved. I need to think about my choice and think about the results, or what could happen as well. That's our responsibility, not to be like, okay, I'm going here. I don't know what's going to happen next. No, we need to be careful with our environment, or the people around us, everybody, how it's going to affect them. If I go to your house and say, okay, I'm going to take a cake, maybe Samahala, you have diabetes. Did I ask you? No, like I made a good choice, but I need to also be thinking about how it's gonna affect. Like I'm thinking about the effect as well with my choices. So when someone uh, like transcends meaning and like not in being above as a space or a place, because it's all, we're all connected. When you're thinking, what you're seeing, observing all the possibilities, okay, then your choices are going to be different. They're going to be between khair and more khair. You're not thinking about bad things anymore. You're thinking, okay, well, this is better than this one, but everything is going to be khair in your eyes. So stepping out of these polarities, light and dark and black and white and khair or shar, they're all the same. They like one and with different intensity, like the white and the dark, like on your computer, the brightness. It's just you lift it up, it's bright. Lift it down, it's dark. It's the same thing. You're measuring the same thing with different intensity. So even al khair wal shar, they are the same with a different intensity, because sometimes you don't know what if this is shar or not. There is a story about Moses and al Khadr. I don't know if it's a true story. I don't know, but I think it's in the Torah or in the Quran or something like that. But I like the moral of that story. It says that Moses uh, spoke to God, and God told him Al Khadr is more knowledgeable than you. So he wanted to see who is this Khadr. I want to learn from them. Um, so he went to him and he said, I'm gonna walk with you and learn from you. He said, Al Khadr told him, but don't ask questions. Don't ask questions. Whatever I do. So he did three things, and every time he does something, the Moses says, "Why did you do this?" I told you not to ask. And then the last thing he did is that I'm going to tell you one of the things that he did. There's a person who has a boat, and he uses this boat uh, for fishing, and his family depends on what he fishes and he sells, and they're poor people, and his boat is very, not that big. But then Al Khadr, he came and punched a hole in that boat, and Moses was like, oh my gosh, why did you do that? You know that this person saw anything. Said, you know what, you're not gonna sit there and not ask questions. uh, the story is that some what do you call them, like thieves, that they're coming into this lake, and they're taking like pirates, they're taking the boats of people, Heike, by force. So I did this whole because when they saw it, they didn't take that boat, they left it for the person, and the person can repair it easily. So what you thought it was shar, it wasn't shar, it was khair. We don't know. So that's why it's our perspective on things. We look at things and everything is going to be khair, and we should not judge. That asking, that when he asked him not to ask questions, meaning don't judge me, don't judge what I'm doing. It's gonna be all khair. So that's what we need to do. So that's what the freedom of choice and the it's freedom altogether. Freedom is when you're choosing. We're not choosing anymore. It's all khair.
Is it?
You know something? Uh, a few years ago, I was diagnosed with CML is a form of leukemia, which is a mild one. There are many kinds of leukemia. And what happened is I accepted the fact. It happened just like that. It happened to me. I'm not going to say, God, why? Why me? Okay? And I said, but the Urdu Sallim. This is it. It happened. I have to deal with it. And fortunately enough, my family, my wife, my kids, my loved friends helped me through it in such a nice way that made me get through it without any problems. Whether it was changing my diet, whether it was the perspective towards cancer. You know, sometimes many people don't like to mention the word cancer. I mean, leukemia is a cancer. And alhamdulillah, okay, knock on wood, before we came this time, it's been like 3.5 years. My results have been coming up very, very clean, 0%. And alhamdulillah, the doctor took me off the medication.
Wow.
I was not on the regular chemo thing. It was just capsules. And, I accepted it. I lived through it. And that's it. So what is going to happen later? I don't know. I'll deal with it when it comes. But if I'm going to start thinking, what if, it's not going to lead me anywhere. It's not going to take me anywhere. Honestly. So I think also that is something that we need to be careful with in life. That again, acceptance, rhythm of senselessly. It's very important. And it's one of the seven directives Savannah and Husan Sabah, which is true. And acceptance is very important. You you have to feel at peace with yourself and with God and with Iman. That's it. That's all it takes. And I'm not saying I'm better than anybody, but that helps you feel more comfortable. That's it.